One issue that continues to dominate our headlines is our mental health issues. It started with the effect of COVID-19 and all that comes with it. Vaccinations, quarantine, working from home, disrupted schedules, lack of social interaction, and more. These past couple of weeks, it has been increased violence, the atrocities in Ukraine, and the shock of mass shooting plaguing our country. Now may be a good time for many of us to pause and reflect. May is Mental Health Month, and the Bethesda Wellness Ministry here at Canaan Baptist Church of Christ wanted to make sure we recognize a difficult truth. 1 in 5 Americans lives with a mental health condition, according to the National Institute of Mental Health. That includes any mental behavior or social disorder, such as depression, anxiety, mood disorder, including bipolar disorder, personality disorder, psychotic disorder, including schizophrenia, trauma, eating disorder, substance use disorders. There have been 203 mass shootings this year in the United States as of May 17th, 2022. According to the Gun Violence Archives, this year the U.S. has so far seen a total of 16,222 deaths as a result of gun violence in 2020. There were 19,411 deaths, gun homicide, mass shooting, so-called everyday violence, and police-involved shooting as a universal American threat. But Black Americans are 10 times more likely than white Americans to die from it. And Black youth fare even worse. Black children and teens are 14 times more likely to die from gun homicide than their white counterparts. Exposure to racism, acts of gun violence, is also a mental health concern. For many people in Black communities, trying to cope with feelings of fear, anger, or anxiety, finding mental health needs is a challenge.
The first thing that I would say is to put down the TV, put down the phone. Don't look at this. Don't consume it so much. Enjoy the life and the light that we have in our communities. The second is really to think about the conversations that we can have. And I know some people might think conversation is not enough for a moment like this, but it's the exact conversation that this young man was watching and engaging in online that got him to think about Black people the way that he did. So we need to have conversations with our children at the dinner table, in our schools, in our mentoring groups, to let them know again that all lives have human value and that we should not dehumanize the lives of Black and brown and Asian folk. And what's really important, y'all, is that we have effective gun control. We have people who aren't afraid to talk about these racial concepts in schools and in our communities. So we have to get out the vote to people who are going to be brave to vote for effective gun control and continuing racial dialogue in schools and in public places.
Additionally, members of the Black community face structural challenges assessing the care and treatment they need.
So there are stigmas upon how people blame things on mental health that really is not the case. Harmful stereotypes of people with mental illness. Treating mental illness issues as if they are something people can overcome if they just try harder, if they just pray harder and all of that nonsense. No, is this a real problem that needs to be dealt with? Also, let me share with you some things that can help you to reduce the stigma associated with mental health. Know the facts. Educate yourself about mental illness, including substance use and disorders. Be aware of your attitude and your behavior. Choose your words carefully. Educate others. Focus on the positive. Support people. Include everyone.
According to the Health and Human Services Office of Minority Health, Black adults in the U.S. are more likely than white adults to report persistent symptoms of emotional distress, such as sadness, hopelessness, and feeling like everything is an effort. Black adults living below the poverty line are more than twice as likely to report serious psychological distress as those with more financial security. Despite the need, only 1 in 3 Black adults who need mental health care received it. According to American Psychiatric Association Mental Health Facts for African Americans Guide, they are also likely to receive guideline consistent care, less likely to receive guideline consistent care, less frequently included in research, more likely to use emergency rooms or primary care rather than mental health specialists.
Let's seek help for our mental health. Let's advocate for it. Let's understand that there is something that can be done. And thank God, as we look at Mental Health Month, that we can minister to each other in love and respect and understand that we are here for you.
If you or someone you know is experiencing challenges with your emotional or mental health, it is essential that you receive quality care as soon as the symptoms are recognized. It is equally important that the care received is provided by culturally competent health care professionals. You can start by calling the National Treatment Referral Helpline at 800-662-HELP or 4357, or the National Alliance on Mental Health Helpline at 800-950-NAMI 6264. Thank you for your attention. I am Laura Brown Sands, the president of the Bethesda Counseling and Wellness Services at the Canaan Baptist Church of Christ.